Hello everyone and welcome back to another video brought to you by allaboutparrots.com. As the title suggests, today we'll be talking about obesity and how to tell if your parrot is overweight. And perhaps, contrary to the title, this subject matter is quite deep. Although explaining the quote-unquote how to tell aspect is rather simple, the how the parrot got there is likely more complex than one would think. It's a lot like human obesity. Overeating, lack of exercise, coupled with poor metabolism can introduce a lot of issues over the course of time. Not only weight gain, but also the issues that can unfortunately accompany such a problem. While this video will discuss the how to tell aspect, if you'd like to know everything involved with this subject from top to bottom, we invite you to stick around until the end of this content. At that time, we'll inform you how you can learn more, courtesy of a rather extensive and highly detailed article. Before we begin today, a quick shout out to you, the viewer. Thanks for watching. We value your time and we certainly appreciate your support. This content would not be possible without you. So, thank you kindly. Now, let's get started. It can be rather difficult, even visually, to tell if your parrot is truly obese. While we all know what an obese cat or dog looks like, unless you have experience with parrots and have taken care of them for years, a novice owner can be a bit confused as to what healthy is supposed to look like. And this is okay. There's nothing wrong with not knowing. Fair to say that most people don't know. That's why we are here to help. First of all, it's easy to think your parrot is large due to extreme feather mass. Sort of like a big fluffy dog. How much is the fluff and how much is the dog? When it comes to a parrot, there are a few ways you can tell if your bird is overweight. But before we check out those important points, just a quick note that once we conclude this topic, we'll display a chart on screen with the average weight of a variety of parrot species. We hope you find that piece of information especially informative. The first way to tell if your parrot is overweight is to locate the keel bone. The keel bone is the bone that runs vertically across the center part of the chest. The sternum in humans is the equivalent. If you can feel the bone sticking out and have a bit of trouble feeling the breast muscles, then your pet is underweight. However, if you can feel a lot of the meat and muscle long before finding the keel bone, this means your parrot is overweight. In a perfect standing, your pet will have a round chest, making the transition from keel bone to muscle almost even and seamless. Another way to tell if your parrot is overweight, especially if you have confirmed the keel bone test, is the identification of lethargy. If your parrot seems tired more than its healthy counterpart, and or if heavy breathing is commonplace after just marginal activity, then obesity could be responsible. Parrots are energetic by nature. They love to move. If your pet is obese, the extra weight could cause your parrot to be a bit draggy and just out of it. When a parrot's muscles are surrounded by unnecessary fat, it will become naturally more difficult and tiresome to move around. The final, and the likely most cut and dry way to determine if your parrot is overweight is to actually weigh your bird. A small scale can be a wonderful investment. Weekly weigh ins can be a positive practice regardless of your parrot's status. This can not only give you a baseline, but can also allow you to assess your parrot's weight from week to week without confusion. Diet and exercise can be adjusted accordingly based on the data that you have received. And on that note, let's now transition to the on-screen chart that was mentioned a bit earlier. This chart can serve as a wonderful guide. Take notes if needed. Parrots are considered to be obese if they are at least 15% heavier than their average ideal weight classified by species. Unfortunately, with obesity comes health problems in some cases. Here are just a few issues that can arise. The first is a fatty liver or fatty liver disease. This is quite dangerous. This ailment occurs when the liver can no longer function properly due to the parrot's body mass. Next is lipomas. These are balls of concentrated fat that can grow and hang from a parrot's frame. While this issue is not fatal, lipomas will not go away with weight loss alone. Surgery is the only course of removal. The next medical issue that can potentially arise is what is known as pododermatitis, the equivalent of gout in humans. The larger a parrot becomes, the more weight the feet have to endure. Severe strain due to a heavy frame can introduce this problem. Impacting the arteries, the condition known as arteriosclerosis can force a parrot's wings to become less elastic and narrow. This condition can prove fatal if not diagnosed and treated in a proper manner. Our last condition of concern is xanthomatosis. This ailment negatively impacts the wings of a parrot. Cholesterol crystals can form under the skin, thus making the wings swell and bleed. In severe cases, a bird's wings will unfortunately have to be amputated. So, how can you be of positive service in this case? What can you do to aid your parrot in losing weight? Thankfully, the undertaking is rather simple. Just stay on top of things and use the aforementioned scale to monitor the progress. First thing you can do is make a change in your parrot's diet. The next involves feeding times. Be strict, do not overfeed. Next, exercise. Dancing. Get your parrot to dance to some music or play with other birds. And also change the room temperature. This will encourage high metabolism. Next is in the introduction of toys. Let your parrot play with some toys within its cage. How about a bath? Frequent baths will stimulate post bath grooming, which in itself is a form of exercise. And last, the introduction, if you are able to accommodate, of outdoor cages. And on that note, that will conclude things for the video portion of our information, but we still have so much more in store for you. We invite you to visit us at allaboutparrots.com. There you will find a full-length article that will take an extensive look at this subject matter in incredible detail. If you have a question, you're likely to find your answer within that piece. Our expert writers have truly prepared a gem for your reading pleasure. Are you currently watching us off-site? If so, please click the initial link in the description box below. Said link will take you to the article in question. And until our paths cross again, and I certainly hope they do, we'd like to thank you once again for joining us today. Please have a wonderful day. All the best to you and yours, and we will talk to you later.